Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Amy Burkett. At age 60, the original Charlotte Coliseum, now known as Bojangles Coliseum, has had a little work done. You could call it a major facelift. New seats and colors, a new scoreboard, and a new home team that's really not so new. But they're not changing everything, as the Coliseum also tries to preserve what's made it so special for so long. Tonight, we begin a special series called Remember When. You'll see segments here on CI over the next 6 to 8 months, and we hope to turn your memories into a documentary early next summer. Carolina Impact's Jeff Saunier joins us outside the Coliseum with more on what's new inside. Hey, Jeff.
You know, Amy, I actually saw Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 here on stage back in the early 80s, either 81 or 82, I'm not sure which. But when you have a building with this much history, well, that's what you get. An awful lot of those same sort of I remember when type moments. On the outside, maybe the Coliseum is just another aging Charlotte landmark. You know, that halfway point you glance at out your window on the long drive to and from work every day. But on the inside of this old dome,
I'm here in Charlotte, North Carolina. This is my home.
well, it's kind of a time machine, taking you back to the early days of a much younger Billy Graham.
I'm proud of this city. I love this great state of North Carolina. From the mountains to the sea, no more beautiful place in the world to live.
Or your favorite TV wrestler.
The heavyweight champion of the world from Charlotte, North Carolina, 242 pounds, Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Burn in love, baby.
Or maybe even the king himself.
Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising. Yeah, higher, higher, it's running through my soul.
Sometimes all in one busy week.
But yeah, it was a great experience to see not only the sporting events, but the concerts and the family shows and everything else that played this building growing up as a kid.
George Height started out as a Coliseum usher back in high school. Now he walks the floor of Bojangles Coliseum as its general manager, overseeing a $16 million fix-up that hopefully picks up on what makes the Coliseum special. The facelift includes almost 9,000 new plastic seats filling the Coliseum, similar to these original slatted wooden seats they replaced, minus, of course, the 60 years of scrapes and scratches. There are new speakers, too, to help fill the Coliseum with music, but no plans to replace this original Coliseum organ either.
As you look around the building, we did a lot of painting and touch-up, things like that, to bring out some of the new colors, but the building still has that charm and intimate feeling. The dome ceiling really wasn't touched other than some new lighting and new sound and things like that. So the dome really still gives it that feeling from the 50s and 60s that made this building so powerful and such an appealing place to be.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend. Come inside, come inside.
The Coliseum Dome, despite a damaging drop-in from Mother Nature back in 1958, has survived to host generations of pop singers and presidential candidates, circus acts, and sports stars.
Here he is, Mike Jordan with his first rebound ever.
Including a certain future Tar Heel Hall of Famer, seen here in his first year, in his first game, not in Chapel Hill, but instead on the Coliseum hardwood.
Jordan, the freshman, started the fast break, has the assist, and Worthy scores.
And now, after months of work on its midlife makeover, Bojangles Coliseum is welcoming back some old friends. Yep, the Charlotte Checkers return this season to the Coliseum that was their home for over 30 years, starting back in 1956 when they moved from Baltimore.
Well, it's very important. Your home is at a rink, and you know, when you've got a building like that that has a bunch of history in it, and then you're also walking into one that's refurbished and the things are new and bright, it's pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting for the fans, too.
I like section 108 or 123, doesn't matter which one.
Sandy Simpson got her tickets early for Checkers opening night, back at the arena where she and her future husband were regulars back in the late 60s and early 70s.
We started dating He asked me if I'd like to go to a hockey game. I'd never been to one.
When you heard they were coming back to the old arena, what was your first
I was
reaction?
very excited, and something that we really want to get back into going and doing. I can't wait to see what it looks like inside. And
So we decided to give Sandy a little sneak peek. The Coliseum makeover not quite finished, but still pretty impressive.
how great, look at it. It looks just the same. We probably set, I think it was that side, and row L.
They really seriously don't build them like that anymore. The workmanship and the amount of architecture that went into this building is truly unbelievable, and I think part of the reason this building is still strong and still vibrant today.
Plus, a spiffed-up Coliseum may be just what's needed to bring back a little luster to this cluster of closed-down businesses nearby.
The Coliseum and the auditorium as really anchors of the East Side and the future development.
So now, although Elvis has left the building, a whole new audience of concert goers and hockey fans is just arriving. And even though the Checkers will be playing more than 50 games a year here at the new Bojangles Coliseum, well, that still leaves lots of extra dates for concerts and other events, not to mention those traditional high school graduations that the old Coliseum is known for. Amy?
Thanks so much, Jeff. It'll be exciting to see our first concert in that renovated facility. Well, here are a few fun facts. The Charlotte Coliseum was one of a kind when it opened in 1955, featuring the world's largest unsupported steel dome. Do you remember the original cost for the Coliseum and Ovens Auditorium next door combined? Well, back then it was just $4 million for both. Let's turn to education now. How do you help your kids develop a